The 9 simple steps to a perfect credit score, and none of them are going to cost you a penny. I'm Alex Stoermer, and this is the channel for wealth builders. Let's dive in. The first step to a perfect credit score is to obtain a copy of your credit reports from each of the 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and Transunion. You can do this for free once a year at annualcreditreport.com. Now, this is actually free and not a fake, scammy free because the site was mandated by federal law. You'll want to review the reports thoroughly to identify any errors or discrepancies. Step 1 from an action you need to take perspective is that simple. The second step to an I'm in charge around here credit score is to dispute any of those inaccuracies found on the credit reports. If you find any errors, such as incorrect account information or payments not credited properly, file a dispute with the respective credit bureau. Now, this is more common than you might think, and the reason is because there's not an actual hard link between your identity and what shows up on your credit report. The credit reporting agencies have to figure it out, and sometimes they get it wrong. Now, after you dispute any inaccuracies, the credit reporting agency will contact the business reporting the data, such as your mortgage servicer or your car loan provider or the utility company, whomever thinks that they didn't get paid on time. But it's not just a half-hearted contact that is required. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the credit bureaus are also legally required to conduct a reasonable investigation of your claim. So what are the possible outcomes from this process? Well, the first possible outcome from your dispute is that the inaccurate data is removed and your score goes up. Mission accomplished, that's simple. The second possible outcome is that the credit reporting agency does not perform the investigation in a timely manner, in which case you likely have grounds for legal action to have the inaccuracies removed, and there are attorneys that do that. So now with the inaccuracies cleared up, you'll have a much wider canvas to begin building the perfect credit score upon, and we can move on to step 3. Step 3 for a perfect credit score is to build a history of paying bills on time. Payment history is one of the most significant factors affecting your credit score. Make sure to pay all your bills, including credit card bills, loans, utility bills, on time. Late or missed payments will have a negative impact on your credit score and begin tainting that beautiful credit picture you're painting. Step 4 towards a perfect credit score is to reduce credit card balances. High credit utilization, meaning the ratio of your credit card balances to your credit limit, can negatively impact your credit score. Aim to keep your credit utilization below 30% at the worst, and ideally below 10%. If you're on the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps plan, and that plan has served me well by the way, you'll want to use your credit card only as a means of showing a little bit of revolving debt repayment history. The fifth step towards a perfect credit score for $0 is to pay off debts strategically. Now, typical advice on what debts to pay off would be prioritizing paying off high interest debts first, such as credit cards or personal loans. The argument for this approach is that by reducing your high interest balances, you can reduce your overall interest accumulation the quickest, and this is a reasonable plan. A credible additional strategy returns to the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, and in this case is called the debt snowball approach. With this method, you don't focus on the largest interest rate debt necessarily, nor the largest absolute value loan first, but rather close to the opposite. You pay off the smallest debt first and then work up to the largest. Whether it's one of these routes you choose or another you've thought out carefully, paying off debts strategically is the 5th step. The 6th step towards a perfect credit score is avoiding new credit applications. Each time you apply for new credit, it results in what is called a hard inquiry on your credit report, and this will likely lower your credit score for a period of time. Because of this, you should limit your applications for new credit, only applying when absolutely necessary. Ideally, you'd never apply for a new credit card again, and focus only on using them for the sake of building your no questions tolerated credit score. The 7th step towards a perfect credit score is maintaining a mix of credit. Having a diverse mix of credit accounts will positively impact your credit score. But what does that really mean? Well, there are 2 general categories of credit: revolving credit and installment loans. Revolving credit are things like credit cards, where the account stays open forever in a revolving borrow-repay cycle. And installment loans are car loans or mortgages that have a single fixed amount that is borrowed at a single point in time and which is then repaid over time. However, don't fall victim to priority inversion, meaning don't open unnecessary accounts just to increase your credit mix. Instead, know that having 1 or 2 credit cards that you keep for a long time and pay off every month, and then maybe 1 modest car loan to build installment history, say for a future mortgage if you plan on using one, would be a good strategy to have. Summarizing, don't go buy an expensive car with a large loan for the supposed purpose of achieving a mix of revolving and installment loan history. that large loan will actually drag your credit score down. The 8th step is related to the 7th, and that is to keep old accounts open. Closing old credit card accounts may seem like a good idea, but it will shorten your credit history and potentially lower your score. To maximize your credit score, keep the oldest 1 or 2 cards you have open, close the rest, and then use the oldest ones lightly but somewhat consistently. The 9th and final step to a perfect credit score is to check up on it regularly. Recently, I had a situation where the taxes changed on my home, but my mortgage payment method was an automated push, meaning a fixed value from my bank account to the loan servicer. In their eyes, my required payment had increased, but in my eyes, I was just making the same payment as I always had been, and this caused the problem. So even if you quote-unquote know you're making all your payments on time, it can be beneficial to check the report to confirm something unexpected or outside your control hasn't happened. With those 9 steps in hand, a perfect credit score becomes a simple 2 bricks a day scenario. You build a financial fortress like you do any other fortress, and that's by a humble but consistent process of adding 2 bricks a day to it. Do you know the difference between a FICO score and a Vantage score? Do you know how those two relate to Transunion, Experian, and Equifax? Did you know some of these organizations try to bait and switch you by using the generic term credit score, but are trying to sell you their own score instead of one of the traditional, hoping that you don't know the difference? For a lesson on all of that, and to make sure you're not tricked into paying for something that a lender doesn't actually use, watch this video here. Remember that it's never too late to be the best you've ever been, and I'll see you in the next video.